medieval high school. The bandsaw is simply a row of teeth that are mounted on a steel band. And this row of teeth, notice that this is 16 feet long. The row of teeth are going around two wheels. And these wheels, notice, are run by the motor, which drives the bottom wheel. And the bandsaw blade cuts in a downward motion. Again, how the teeth move in a downward motion, which actually helps hold your board onto the table. Now notice that the doors are to remain closed, and these doors and the guard around the blade keep it in the housing unless the blade breaks. And if it does break, it will usually hit right here if it comes out of the housing and go out in this direction. Notice how the bandsaw blade can be recoiled.
There are an awful lot of bandsaws in this area. Most of them are located at markets. You might want to guess what department. That's right, the butcher shop. The bandsaw is used to cut different parts of meat. The bandsaw is used to cut through the fat and the meat, and it goes right through the bone also. So obviously you don't want to get your hand close to that bandsaw blade. The butcher has to be very careful as he's working with the bandsaw also, as he trims the meat and makes the special cuts.
Ripping a board, which is cutting with the grain, or cross-cutting the board, which is cutting across the grain, or you can also make another cut, which is resawing. Now, to resaw a board means that you change its thickness. Notice here we're changing its width by a rip cut, its length by a cross cut, and we can change its thickness. Now, not on a board this thin, though. But if we wanted to resaw this 2x4, we could make two pieces about 3/4 of an inch thick. And you do this with a fence. The fence is fastened onto the table. The guide comes up. It goes in to a position like this, lined up, fastened to the table. Remember now, this is called resawing. To resaw means to change the thickness. And then it's pushed through like this. The most popular use of the bandsaw, though, is for cutting a curve. Remember that before you use this piece of equipment, you must get permission, which means you come to the instructor and you show me exactly what you're going to cut. The next step is to set up the guide and the guard. You do this by loosening this, pulling. Notice that that allows the guard and the guide to adjust to the thickness of the wood. Come down within 1/4 inch of your stock. 1/4 inch or closer. This means that now I can't get my hand into where the blade will injure me. Make sure that before the machine is turned on, you always wear your eye protection. Turn the machine on. The machine must be stopped with the brake before the operator leaves it. The other important thing to remember is that the machine must reach its top or maximum speed or fullest speed before you start your cut.
Another operation that can be handled on the bandsaw is cutting a V. This is done simply with the bandsaw by, first of all, setting the guide within 1/4 of an inch of your stock, then turning the machine on and cutting towards the point of the V. When you reach that point, you can stop pushing the board forward, turn the machine off, and press on the brake until the blade completely stops moving. Then you can back your board out, turn the machine back on, and continue or complete your cut. Never back out from a cut on the bandsaw, as you could possibly pull the blade right off of the wheels.
Remember that we do not cut any round stock on the bandsaw. Takes a special setup and is only done in certain cases. In other words, don't just come up and take a piece of dowel and try to cut it. The downward motion of the teeth will actually spin this out of your hand and possibly break the blade. Notice also how dangerous it would be if you're cutting like this. And this would twist out of your hand. The bandsaw can be used for lots of different shapes and different types of projects. Here are just a few of them. Remember that you make no adjustments while the machine is running. The machine must be dead stopped when you make an adjustment. Your hand should never come within 2 inches of your blade. So keep your hands away. No very small pieces of wood should be cut on the bandsaw either. If the blade should break while making a cut, it will usually make a lot of noise, which means that you'll normally back up. Some students go back very quickly and sometimes even 5 or 6 inches off the floor. So once you're in the back position, once you've already moved away from the machine, leave it alone. Do not apply the brake or turn off the switch, because the machine automatically shuts itself off. Now remember, to use the machine, first of all, set the guide and the guard within 1/4 inch of your stock. Wear eye protection. Turn it on, let it get up to the top or maximum speed. Turn the machine off and apply the brake. That completes this safety segment. Would you like to ride in my